Hello and welcome to today's lesson, which is expanding a single bracket. So, first of all, let's have a look at this. So if I want 3 lots of 2x plus 4, what will I have? So, with this one here, what we'd need, if we've got 3 lots of 2x plus 4, then we can expand it. So we could, not expand it, we can multiply it. So it's going to be 3 times by 2x, which is 6x, and 3 times by 4, which is equal to 12. But there is another way of writing this. So, and this is the way that we're going to see quite a lot. If I want 3 lots of 2x plus 4, the way I can write it is 3 bracket 2 plus the 4. And that means 3 lots of, or 3 times by 2x plus 4. So, the way you might want to think about this is if you're thinking about the area of something. So here, if I have a look at this one here, what I've got is I've got 4 times by, or 4 lots of 2x. So if I'm thinking about the area of the whole rectangle, that's going to be 4 bracket 2 plus x. If I'm thinking about the individual areas, it's going to be 4 times by 2, which is 8, and it's going to be 4 times by the x, which is 4x, like so. So let's have a go. Let's just get stuck in with some of these. Okay, so let's have a go at this first one. Remember to make sure you're getting these down in your notes. The only way to learn maths is to do them. There's quite a lot of examples today. However, get them all down because they're all different variations which are extending. So the first one, example 1. So here we've got 7 lots of 5c plus 5. So here, the best way to think about this and the quickest way to think about this is just expanding out using these arrows. So 7 times by 7 times by 5c, which is 35c. And then 7 times by 5, which is equal to the plus 35. Remember, we can think about this as area if we wanted to. So 7 lots of 5c plus the 5. So 7 times by 5c is the 35c, the area in there. 7 times by 5 is equal to just 35, like so, which is the same 35c plus 35 as what we've got here. So let's have a go at example 2. So this one's really similar, not much more difficult, but I just want to have a go at a few of these to make sure you understand them. So the first one here, 6 times by 6l is 36l. 6 times by minus 5, well, positive 6 times by minus 5 is equal to minus 6 times by 5, which is the 30, like so. So, example 3, now I'm going to go down and across on these ones because they do get gradually harder as we go across. So, example 3 here. So here I've got 6j lots of 2j minus 7. So what makes this more difficult? Well, it's the fact we've got this j outside. I've got 6j and I need to times that by 2j and minus 7. So what is 6j times by 2j? So with this one here, you might have seen this in my previous video, which was simplifying algebraic expressions. So 6 times by 2 is equal to the 12, and j times by j is equal to j squared. So that's why it's a little bit tricky, because we've got that j times j, which is j squared. So the next one we've got 6j times by minus 7. Well, 6 times by minus 7 is, well, let's do it in order. Let's do it 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42. Brilliant. So minus 42. And not forgetting to times by the j as well. So that's example 3. So let's do another one of these. Example 4. So the next one is 4l times by 2l minus 3. So very similar to the last one. 4l times by 2l. Well, 4 times by 2 is 8. L times by L is L squared. And then 4l times by minus 3, well 4 times by minus 3 is minus 12. So minus 12 and times by the L as well, There's nothing over here, so it's not going to be squared, it's not going to be cubed, it's just minus 12L. What is minus 3 lots of 4L minus 12L? Brilliant. So, let's step it up again. Let's take it that little bit further now. So this is example 5. Again, I know there are lots of examples in today's lesson, but just make sure you're getting them all down. They are all slight variations where they get just that little bit harder, okay? So this one here is example 5. So I've got 6d cubed now times by 2d cubed plus 3. So let's have a think now. 6d cubed times by 2d cubed. Well, we can do the 6 times 2 first of all, which is the 12. But the thing that makes this a little bit harder than the last one is we've got d cubed times by d cubed. So what does d cubed mean? Well, d cubed means d times d times d. So what I'm doing here is I'm doing d times d times d times by d times d times d for this d cubed here. So d to the power of 3 times by d to the power of 3 is d times d times d times d times d times d, which is d to the power of 6. So d to the power of 6, like so. Next one, 6d cubed just times by 3. Well, what's 3 lots of 6d cubed? That's going to be equal to 3 times by 6 is 18 lots of the d cubed, like so. Brilliant. So let's have a look now at example 6. So example 6 is 4n to the power of 4, lots of 4n to the power of 4, the same, plus the 6. So what's 4n to the 4 times by 4n to the 4? Well, 4 times by 4 is the 16, and n to the power of 4 times by n to the power of 4 is n to the power of 8. Be careful with that. A lot of people make the mistake of times in the powers. Actually, you add the powers with indices. And then 4n to the power of 4 times by 6. Well, that means it's 6 lots of the 4n, which is going to be 6, 12, 18, 24, plus 24n to the 4. Brilliant. So that's those examples done. So I am going to push a little bit further now. I am going to take it a little bit further. So our next example is this one here, example 7. Now we've got a negative x minus 3. So, what does that negative mean in front of the bracket? Well, in a very similar way to this one here, where we've got minus m there, this here means that it's minus 1m, like so. So, if I've got minus 1m, the way we think about this is we've got a 1 in front of it, and it's exactly the same with this one here. It's minus 1 in front of it. So we've got the minus 1 in front of it, and I'm going to be expanding this out now. So it's going to be minus 1 times by this x. So what is minus 1 times by x? Well, minus 1 times by x is equal to minus x. And what's minus 1 times by minus 3? Well, minus 1 times by minus 3, we've got minus times by a minus, which is a positive value, and 1 times by 3, which is equal to 3. So, with that one there, we've got minus x plus the 3. So, let's just check that. Absolutely brilliant. They wrote the minus 1 in front of that x. Don't be too worried about that. That's still fine. It's just we need to make sure we have it like this. Okay, let's move on a little bit further. So that was example 7. So I'm going to do 2 examples from the top, and then I'm going to do 2 examples from the bottom, and then I'm going to let you have a go at some of these. So next up is example 5. Now this section is called expand and simplify. And the reason it's called that is because you need to expand and then you simplify. So this one here, what was it? Example 8. So example 8, and we've got 8 lots of 8w plus 5 plus 6 lots of 7w plus 5. Now, notice that there's an addition sign in front of this. Okay, this isn't a double bracket because double brackets need to be next to each other. So it's going to be a bracket, nothing in the middle, then another bracket. So if you're doing double brackets, that's completely different. Here we've got two single brackets added together. Okay, a single bracket here and a single bracket here. So the first thing I need to do is expand this left-hand side one. So 8 times by 8w is 64w. And then 8 times by 5 is equal to plus 40. Then I'm expanding out this one. So 6 times by 7w. Well, 6 times by 7 is equal to 42w. And 6 times by 5 is plus 30. Now remember we said expand and then simplify. So we need to simplify these now. So it's going to be, notice we've got 64 w's, 42 w's. You might have seen this in the simplified part here where we were collecting like terms. So I can bring the 64w and the 42w together. I am going to do that on the side just to make sure I get it right. 64 plus the 42. 4 plus 6 is equal to 6. 4 plus 2 is equal to 6. 6 plus 4 is equal to 10, carry the 1, which is going to be 106. So here I have 106 W's. And then I've got the plus 40 plus another 30. So 40 plus 30 is equal to plus 70, like so. So, here I've got example 9. I'm going to do the top right one here, which is the 8 lots of 5x plus 6 minus 6 lots of 3 minus 3x. Now, what makes this one a little bit harder? Well, the thing that makes it a little bit harder is the fact that this is a negative inside this. So we've got to go back and think about how we multiply by our negatives, which is what we did down here, which is why we did this. So here we've got 8 times by 5x, which is equal to the 40x. 8 times by 6, well, 8 times by 6 is equal to 48. Now, we're dealing with this negative now, so it's minus 6 times by 3, which is equal to minus 18. And minus 6 times by minus 3. Now, everybody always makes mistakes with this, okay? Because it's minus 6 times by the minus 3x. So minus 6 times by minus 3x is equal to, well, minus times by a minus is a positive value, and 6 times by 3 is 18x. There's no surprise here that when people do this, they just go 6 times by minus 3, there's a minus symbol in the middle, so it just be minus 18x, but it's not, okay? And then we simplify this. So it's going to be 40x plus 18, which is equal to 58x. And then 48 minus 18. So 48 take away 18 is equal to plus 40 plus 30. There we go. Mark those in green. So let's have a look at these bottom two now. So here we've got example 10. I'm just going to do 2 more examples and then we'll give you opportunity to have a go at some of these. So here I've got 1 plus 2 lots of 3 plus x. Now, the common mistake with this is people go 1 plus 2 is 3, then expand the bracket. But you can't do that because of the order of operation. So remember, way back when, you've got to do the multiplication first and then do the addition. So in this case, the multiplication is the 2 lots of this, okay? So it's 2, you've got to expand the bracket first. So 2 lots of this, so 2 times by 3 is 6. 2 times by x is plus 2x. Not forgetting that 1 at the beginning. And then I'm going to simplify these. So it's going to be the 1 plus the 6. And 1 plus 6 is equal to 7. So it's going to be 7 plus 2x. Brilliant. Okay, last little one. So here we've got example 11. So example 11 last one, and then we'll have a go at some of these. And this one is 7 minus 2 lots of 3 minus 2x. And I think when I say it like that, it does become a little bit easy because it's 2 lots of this, so I know that I need to do that first. So here it's going to be minus 2 times by the 3. So minus 2 times by 3 is minus 6. Minus 2 times by minus 2x. Now again, we spoke about this before. A negative times by a negative is a positive number. Don't get that wrong. So minus 2 times by minus 2 is plus 4x. Not forgetting that 7 at the beginning. And then it's 7 take away 6, which is 1. With the 4x. 4x on its own because it's in terms of x. So I've got here 1 plus 4x. And that's that one done. Let's just check these answers. Absolutely brilliant. So let's have a go at some of these yourself. I'm going to put this up so you can see them. So pause now, have a go at those. There are some trickier ones in question 2 and some even trickier ones in question 3 and 4. But pause now. If you're on question 3, then think about the area is the space inside that shape and the perimeter is the distance around the outside. So we need to add all those sides or times to get the area. Pause now and have a go at that. Okay, and I'll put the answers up now. So there's your answers. Now, do make sure that you're having a go at these. Make sure you're marking them in green. Remember, the only way to learn maths is to do it. So make sure you're having a go at them. Thank you for watching this video, which was expanding single brackets, and have a lovely day.